covers New Hampshire like we do. We're WMUR News 9.
Good evening, everyone. The battle against the West Nile virus has begun in New Hampshire tonight, and the state is asking citizens to take action.
This potentially deadly virus is transmitted by mosquitoes, and the CDC says last year 284 Americans died from West Nile. More than 4,000 contracted the virus, and some environmental experts say this will be the worst year yet for West Nile in America, predicting the virus will spread nationwide by the end of the summer. WMUR's Jean Mackin joins us now live in Manchester with what New Hampshire is doing to control this situation.
Well, there have not been any human cases reported here in New Hampshire, but last year 119 birds tested positive for the West Nile virus here, so the state does know it's here, and now it needs your help in tracking the virus and preventing the human spread. The baseball fields are full on a warm spring night, and there on the edge of the grass, large pools of standing water, perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes that can transmit the West Nile virus after biting an infected bird. New Hampshire health officials are now tracking those mosquitoes. In Manchester, mosquitoes are trapped in their environment, then sent off to be tested for West Nile. The biggest concern is the possible spread of this potentially deadly virus to human beings.
It's certainly the next logical progression. We've seen it in birds for the past couple of years. We had positive mosquitoes for the first time last year.
Health officials say residents must protect themselves from mosquito bites to lower the chances of contracting the virus.
Well, the risk is still relatively low. We still encourage people to take the precautions we've been talking about for a couple of years now to eliminate standing water on their properties, and if they're going out in the evening, to use personal protective measures, including long pants, long sleeves, and an insect repellent with the appropriate amount of DEET, whether they're children or adults.
The state is also asking all residents to report certain species of dead birds immediately.
We're asking New Hampshire citizens to report to us any dead crows or blue jays that they find.
Those dead crows or blue jays should be reported to your local animal control officer, the health department, or the state's West Nile virus information line at 866-273-NILE. And once again, the risk of humans contracting the West Nile virus is considered low. It usually shows up as a mild flu about 3 to 15 days after that mosquito bite. Now, the state says that it is concerned with all the rain we've had recently because that leaves a lot of standing, stagnant water behind, and that's where the mosquitoes like to breed. Reporting live in Manchester, Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
4 suspects in a weekend shoplifting spree at the Mall of New Hampshire appeared in court this morning. The 3 men and 1 woman, all from Lawrence, Massachusetts, appeared in Salem District Court today, and they're being held on $100,000 cash bail. They're accused of stealing thousands of dollars in merchandise from the Mall of New Hampshire. Investigators looking into whether they are part of a larger shoplifting operation. Prosecutors say the group has been arrested numerous times for thefts and other crimes. 2 of them are already awaiting trial on other stolen property charges.
A Milford Middle School teacher accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old student was back in court today facing additional charges. Kevin Markey was in court today for allegedly buying cigarettes and alcohol for 3 14-year-old girls. He's been charged with endangering the welfare of a minor. And last month, Markey was arrested for allegedly having a 2-month-long sexual relationship with a 14-year-old student. The number of alleged victims now stands at 4, but authorities say there could be more.
Obviously, this is an ongoing investigation that we're investigating with other students that have, for various reasons, have been brought to our attention about some other allegations. So we're investigating that right now, and it's still ongoing. That hasn't been concluded yet.
Markey has been suspended from his teaching job and has been released on bail.
Today, dramatic testimony from a man accused in an accident. Daniel Littlefield is on trial for allegedly killing a boater last August on Lake Winnipesaukee. WMUR's Sean McDonald is live in the newsroom with that story. Sean?
Today was day 5 in that trial. Daniel Littlefield is accused of taking his boat out on the lake intoxicated and then getting involved in a fatal hit and run. Today, jurors heard what Littlefield first told police in a taped interview. The interview was recorded 1 month after the fatal boating accident. Daniel Littlefield recounted to police what he remembered about the night of August 11th. He says he knew his boat struck something in the darkness, but he wasn't sure exactly what it was.
I didn't know if I ran over a canoe or a floating dock or a piece of wood. I didn't know where I ran over. I just felt that I hit something, and obviously after my health drive didn't work,
Littlefield is accused of negligent homicide after allegedly running over a smaller boat last August. A passenger on that small boat, 69-year-old John Hartman, was killed. According to prosecutors, occupants of the boat cried for help. But in his interview, Littlefield says he heard nothing and continued on.
Neither one of us saw anything. And we said, well, if that was a boat, and if we just glanced off of it, then they must have been sitting there doing something they shouldn't have been doing. Or they were sitting there with no lights on, and they don't want to stick around.
Littlefield told police throughout the day he had 2 glasses of wine and 4 beers. Prosecutors allege he was intoxicated when the collision occurred. Part of Littlefield's defense is that the smaller boat never had a stern light on, making it hard to see them in the dark. This is what he told police.
Personally, myself, I'm not sure if I saw them or not. I can't tell you that I did, I can't tell you that I didn't. I know our stern light was glaring at me.
Littlefield has maintained he was not drunk at the time. His attorney says the group in the other boat had shut their stern light off so they could better see the stars. Testimony will continue tomorrow. In the newsroom, I'm Sean McDonald, WMUR News 9.
All right, Sean, thank you. The man suspected in a series of bombings across the United States is behind bars tonight. After 5 years of searching, the FBI arrested Eric Robert this weekend, and tonight he sits in a Birmingham, Alabama jail, and that is where he will stand trial for the 1998 abortion clinic bombing that killed an off-duty police officer. If found guilty, he could face the death penalty. Rudolph is also accused of 3 bombings, including the blast of the 1996 Summer Olympics that killed 1 person.
President Bush is in Egypt tonight, preparing for a summit tomorrow in Jordan. The president shook hands with Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak when he arrived there today. He will later travel to Jordan for a meeting with the Israeli and Palestinian prime ministers Ariel Sharon and Mahmoud Abbas. The president plans to press Arab leaders to do more to show open support for the new Palestinian prime minister.
Another ship has returned to U.S. waters from overseas. The USS Constellation returned to port in San Diego today with 5,000 sailors on board. The military members arrived home after being deployed from Iraq 7 months after they left to take part in operations in Iraq and Afghanistan last November. This was the 41-year-old aircraft carrier's final mission.
A new contract has been reached between the Manchester Airport and Rockingham County Sheriff's deputies. The new 2-year deal, shorter than the 5-year deal the parties first discussed, but it will allow the airport to investigate other options for law enforcement, including the establishment of its own police force. The airport director and the sheriff had a very public dispute about the issue of who is in charge of talking to the press about security, but they say they've come to an agreement.
There are many aspects to security, and any information that's going out regarding security in total here at the airport needs to be coordinated with a number of entities and organizations.
That new contract goes into effect on July the 1st.
The Federal Communications Commission voted today to ease restrictions on the ownership of media. The changes will allow companies to buy more television stations and own both newspapers and broadcast outlets in most cities. The commission's 3-member Republican majority voted to change the rules over the objections of the panel's 2 Democrats. Several members of Congress have said they want to review that decision.
Well, next weekend marks the start of Motorcycle Week, and officials say that more than 350,000 people are expected to turn out in our Lakes region for this year's event. Attendance was down last year, mostly due to negative publicity and rainy weather. There was friction between 2 motorcycle groups, the Hells Angels and the Outlaws, after several shootings in New York and Las Vegas. Belknap County Sheriff's deputies will be conducting normal patrols during Bike Week.
Well, Nashua police want your help in finding whoever's responsible for a rash of vandalism this week. Several buildings around Holman Stadium were spray painted either Saturday or Sunday night, and the damage is estimated to be in the thousands of dollars. Police say they got almost a dozen reports this weekend of graffiti in different areas of Nashua, and they do believe it's all connected. Anyone with information is asked to call Nashua Police. Checking news around the nation tonight, an Indiana amusement park reopened today after a woman was killed over the weekend on one of the park's roller coasters.
The 32-year-old New York woman died on Saturday night after falling from the wooden coaster at the Holiday World amusement park. The park was closed yesterday, reopened today, but the ride remains shut down as the investigation into what happened continues.
And, we're just beginning the process of sitting down and reviewing the facts. And we're going to come up with an action plan of how we're going to go about investigating, reviewing the facts, and making a determination as to what happened.
This is the first fatal accident in the park's 58-year history.
Well, wildfire season got underway, or a wildfire season got underway in California today. Steady winds drove a fast-moving grass fire today that burned more than 2,000 acres in San Joaquin County. Nearly 200 firefighters and support staff have been battling the blaze. Flames have threatened power lines, but not homes.
Hundreds of residents of Vail, Colorado, returning home tonight after flooding forced them to evacuate. One of the major highways in the state remains closed due to a large sinkhole in that area. Melting snow, heavy rain, contributing to one creek washing out a culvert and opening a 20-foot wide sinkhole about a mile east of Vail on Interstate 70. No injuries have been reported.
Well, the European Space Agency is hoping that a mission to Mars will prove there really is life on other planets. The Mars Express spacecraft was launched today by the European Space Agency, and it will take about 6 months to reach the red planet. Scientists say the mission will test an area north of Mars' equator where traces of life could have been preserved.
We'll have to wait and see on that one.
Can't wait.
Don't go away. Straight ahead on News 9 tonight at 11 o'clock. Could that flu you've been battling be a string of the new virus? We're going to tell you all about that coming up.
Plus, a number of candidates making the rounds in the state today. Find out who was here and what they were up to. Coming up next.
And could it be that a sunny stretch of weather started today? It will certainly last through tomorrow, but will it last through the rest of the week? Full forecast coming up.
Coming up tomorrow night on New Hampshire Chronicle.
The glaciers came through here. They were over a mile thick.
It's a must-see Granite State wonder.
The magnificence of Franconia's Plume Gorge. A woman who came from Keene and Ralph Waldo Emerson hated each other. I'll tell you the story.
Don't miss New Hampshire Chronicle tomorrow night at 7:30.
It's not just about saving money. It's about spending time, just dropping by and creating bonds rather than simply buying them. At Edward Jones, it's never just about investing. It's about knowing you and your dreams.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
New Hampshire's community technical colleges, the most affordable start to your college education or specialized career training, are proud to salute New Hampshire's top graduating seniors. Hear what inspired them to reach for the stars.
If asked, I would say that I'm just your average high school senior. However, my love for learning in and out of school has helped me accomplish more than most. Being able to engage my mind and explore subjects I've been interested in has allowed me to concentrate on the direction I would like my life to take.
Congratulations to the class of 2003.
When Mercury Grand Marquis and Buick LeSabre went head-to-head, we found 3 clear advantages. Grand Marquis has the only V8 and roomiest trunk in its class. And it's the only car with a 5-star safety rating 8 years running. And then we found a few thousand more advantages. Grand Marquis is $3,390 less than LeSabre. Now get 0% APR for 60 months or up to $4,500 cash back on the 2003 Grand Marquis. See your New England Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
When you want news about your hometown now, the weather outside right now, or updated information on a breaking news story now, you go to the ultimate source for local news, weather, and sports when you need it now. The WMURchannel.com is there for you 24 hours a day with some exciting new features like WMUR's online store. Get your WMUR gear, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and more right on the WMURchannel.com. Local news, weather, sports, and a whole lot more because no one covers New Hampshire now like we do. Covers New Hampshire like we do. You're watching WMUR News 9 with Tom Griffith, Tiffany Eddy, meteorologist Mike Haddad, and Charlie Sherman on sports. Now, News 9 continues.
And welcome back, everyone. There could be a new virus out there making many people sick.
According to scientists, it's not SARS, but it has very similar symptoms, including a cough, nasal congestion, and wheezing. It's called human metapneumovirus, and no deaths have yet been attributed to it. Researchers say, though, they aren't sure how prevalent the virus is because so far their stats have only come from the United States. Local officials say it's easy to understand why this new virus could be mistaken for SARS.
It gives you a disease that comes with fever, with some cough, any type of other respiratory symptoms. Then the confusion comes because, yeah, it gives you some sort of acute respiratory disease, but it's not the same thing as we are calling today SARS.
And a specialist at the CDC says they're already starting to look for some sort of a vaccine.
Well, officials will continue testing the ground around Hanover High School throughout the end of the week. The testing started today after it was discovered last week that contaminated groundwater from a waste site may have seeped onto school grounds, possibly making the air in the school unhealthy. The chemical found in the well is a chlorinated solvent, which in extreme conditions has been linked to cancer. Results from the testing will not be available until the end of the month.
Commitment 2004 tonight, presidential hopeful John Edwards in New Hampshire today unveiling a new plan to help more young people go on to higher education.
The Democrat shared his plan with a handful of Central High School students, and the plan is called College for Everyone. In it, the government will pay the entire first year of college tuition for a state college or university if that student is willing to work 10 hours a week in the community. Edwards says students will have to be academically eligible for the plan.
Democrat John Kerry also in the state today speaking at a convention in North Conway. Kerry, seen here in Manchester in March, spoke about creating a payroll tax holiday. The Massachusetts senator says the refund would help the average worker immediately. Kerry's remarks kicked off the four-day conference, which brings together apprentices in skilled trades from the eastern United States for workshops, programs, and other events.
Meanwhile, the nation's second lady paid a visit to the state today, talking about the importance of history in today's world. Lynn Cheney, wife of Vice President Dick Cheney, was a keynote speaker at Federation of Women's Republican Women's Lilac Luncheon in Manchester. Mrs. Cheney says we're not doing a good enough job teaching American history to our children, and she says you can find the justification for going to war with Iraq by simply reviewing New Hampshire's Revolutionary War days.
Now, meteorologist Mike Haddad and the Stormwatch 9 forecast.
And overall, a nice Monday despite the gusty winds today. Temperatures soared near the average, ranging from about 65 up north to about 74 in southern New Hampshire. Official high in Concord, only 2 off the normal. The low right around the average, and there are the records for the day. 95, the record high set back in 1934. Right now on the cool side, but pleasantly so from the Lakes region south and east. Maybe a little bit too cool for some in parts of the Connecticut River Valley, where it's down into the lower to mid 40s. In places like Hanover and Lebanon, upper 40s to near 50 in the Great North Woods. Winds are just about to go calm, and that means temperatures are going to tumble into the mid to upper 30s with even a touch of frost in a few isolated areas to the north. Right now, pleasantly cool across the northern half of the nation, downright warm across the southern tier, and smack dab in the middle we have the jet stream, and right underneath the jet stream we have a storm, quite a potent one for this time of year, very similar to the one we dealt with over this past weekend. Quite a bit of rain and wind. This one right now moving through the Ohio Valley, should be moving just south of New England very late on Wednesday, and it may come close enough to give us just a bit of rain, but certainly not tomorrow. Looks like a terrific Tuesday. Sunshine, mid to upper 70s and upper 60s to near 70 north of the Notches. So it looks like a great day. On Wednesday, we'll start off with some sun in northern areas. Clouds will roll in during the afternoon, and in southern sections, maybe a little bit of filtered sun through mid-morning. Clouds will thicken up by midday, and there could be a few rain showers developing as early as 2 or 3 o'clock, mainly south of Concord, and all of these showers will roll up north by the time midnight hits late Wednesday night into Thursday. And it looks like those showers will linger into Thursday. Clear skies, though, overnight tonight. Chilly, scattered frost. That's right up north. Lower to mid-30s there and upper 30s to mid-40s elsewhere. Again, nice day on Tuesday, mostly sunny. Just a few high clouds around and temperatures running right at the average. 60s north and 70s south. Wednesday, partly sunny north, mostly cloudy. Lakes on south with a few showers in the afternoon, especially from Concord south. I think everyone will see some showers Wednesday night into Thursday. Drying out for Friday. And right now, Saturday, partly sunny to start, maybe a few showers late day, but that's still out there quite a ways. And I said that earlier in the evening, and I'm still going to say that until maybe tomorrow.
Still looking a little bit better, though. A little brighter day in and day out.
A lot brighter today. It was a huge improvement.
What a game that we had tonight, huh?
Oh,
Sure was, huh?
Man, pretty exciting stuff. Makes you not mind to go on late. Well, some of us, Tiffany. And the Nashua Pride, once again hosting Ricky Henderson and the Bears. We'll tell you how they did as well, coming up in sports.
And as part of the Southern New Hampshire News Network, here's a look at the headlines you'll see in tomorrow's Telegraph.
Welcome aboard. Please turn off all unapproved electronic devices. We have a very crowded flight today, and all overhead space is full. The captain expects frequent turbulence, so please remain seated at all times. And we do anticipate a late arrival. Thank you.
The Hyundai Santa Fe with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you upgrade your travel plans, you win.
Waiting for a real deal on a tractor? Well, wait no more. During the Kubota Real Deal, you can get 0% financing for up to 36 months on any new Kubota tractor. That's right, 0% for up to 36 months. Get to your local Kubota dealer today and get the Kubota Real Deal. But hurry, offer ends June 30th, 2003.
CMB Tractor and Equipment of Plastow and Tilton, New Hampshire.
The Hannaford pepper. What makes it different from every other pepper? It has to be firm. It has to be fresh. It has to be brightly colored. It has to be picked at the peak of perfection. At Hannaford, we go out of our way to get the highest quality produce. So it's not surprising that the Hannaford pepper tastes so much better than any other.
Once she realized that she was definitely going to die, her health went downhill. Even more. I mean, downhill from what? She was lying on the bed. I was holding her. She was breathing like a fish out of water. And the last breath was the same as the one before it. She breathed in, she breathed out, and then she didn't breathe anymore.
For help, call 1-800-TRY-TO-STOP.
We should have known. Oops. When we suggested that those of you who were considering getting a Toyota Highlander ask a Toyota Highlander family what they think of theirs, we kind of forgot why they bought them in the first place. The 2003 Toyota Highlander. Car-like handling and a fun-loving SUV spirit. But don't take our word for it. Well, actually, you may have to.
I'm Ted Koppel. Coming up on Nightline, they helped win the war, thought they were heading home. Instead, they're pressed into service to patrol Iraq's toughest town. The war may be over, but we haven't heard the last of Saddam loyalists tonight.
Now, Charlie Sherman and News 9 Sports.
The Red Sox, losers of their last 5 games, had a much-needed night off tonight before they begin interleague play with the Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow in the Steel City. Sox trail the Yankees by 1.5 games in the American League East. They lead the Toronto Blue Jays by just a half game. The Nashua Pride hosting Ricky Henderson and the Newark Bears again tonight. Game 2 of a 3-game series at historic Holman Stadium, and a chance to see, there he is, the future Hall of Famer and all-time stolen base leader. Henderson led off the game with a single down into left center field. That was his only base hit of the night. Then it's Tommy Hage driving one up the middle. That scores Ricky Henderson, and they would get one more in the inning, make it 2-0. There it is, 2-zip. Same inning, and for Francisco LeBron homers to right center field. A 2-run shot gives Newark a 4-0 lead. 4-1 Bears in the second. Ryan Van Horn hits his second homer of the season, a 2-run bomb to left field, cuts it to 4-3. The Pride would come all the way back, and they win it by a final of 6-5.
I see a lot of, quality players out here that, should have the opportunity to at least be in the mountain league somewhere with some organization. But, it's just goes to show you so many people in the game is trying to play, so this is on a place they can continue playing and hope they get their dream come true.
The Major League Baseball draft is Tuesday and Wednesday. It should be lucrative for Durham's Sam Fuld, who is draft eligible after completing his junior year at Stanford. As for high school ball players, WMUR's Jamie Staten introduces us to a pitcher who just might get the call.
Even his teammates are on their feet when Zach Picola takes the mound. This West High lefty throws a fastball in the high 80s, and his wicked curve may be his best strikeout pitch. Zach has been mowing down the competition at the rate of 2 strikeouts per inning.
On the same page as my catcher. I mean, I just try to go out there and hit his mid. I mean, he calls a very good game, and I feel like I'm in control of the game when I pitch. It's the one place on earth where you're all together and just yourself and just having a good time.
I'd say he's one of the best in New England, not just the state. I say he's the best in the state and one of the top 2 or 3 in New England.
The Major League Baseball draft starts Tuesday at 6'3", 225 pounds. Zach is a big, hard-throwing left-hander that could be tough to overlook by Major League Baseball teams.
It's going to be really exciting come Tuesday. I hope I go high, but I don't know how high I'll go.
When he was 3, he had a natural release with his left hand. So he's always talked about playing professional baseball. He's a 3-sport guy in high school, but baseball is his love.
The Marlins, Giants, and Pirates have shown the most Major League interest in drafting Zach. At West, he's been a state champion soccer goalie and a good basketball player. But baseball and his left arm will lead the way into the future. Jamie Staten, WMUR News 9 Sports.
All right, thanks, Jamie. The Stanley Cup Finals resumed tonight in Anaheim. The Mighty Ducks looking to even the finals at 2 games apiece with Pat Burns' New Jersey Devils. Game scoreless into overtime. And there it is, the only goal of the game scored in the OT by Steve Thomas after a great save by Martin Brodeur. The series is now even at 2 games apiece. Bob Gainey helped Montreal win 5 Stanley Cups during his playing days. Now he's returning to Les Habitants as the team's general manager. He'll replace Andre Savard, who will become the assistant general manager. The NBA coaching merry-go-round continued today. The much-traveled Larry Brown has accepted the Detroit Pistons coaching job. He replaces Rick Carlisle, who was fired 2 days ago. And former Celtic Paul Silas is the new head man in Cleveland, where he'll become the mentor of LeBron James, who's expected to be the top pick in the NBA draft. Silas has coached the Hornets for the last 5 seasons. The Denver Broncos have released former starting quarterback Brian Griese, a move made a move made to clear space under the salary cap. It's expected he will sign with the Miami Dolphins. Griese was 27 and 24 as a starter for the Denver Broncos.
Very prone to injuries.
Yes, but he comes from a good family.
Yes, I know
yes,
he does.
His dad, Bob, and I played together for many years.
You played with Bob?
Well, not really.
Maybe not. In your dreams. Yes. Thank you, Charlie. Still to come on News 9 tonight.
We're going to take you to Nashua, where work is being done on a cake of monstrous proportions. The story is coming up next.
You think about the philosophy that cars are driven by people, how everything you do, therefore, is and always will be about safety. You think about that, then you build not just the safest car you can, but a whole family of them. The 2004 Volvos. It's National Safety Month, a great time to introduce our family to you during the Volvo June for Safety, June for Saving event at your Volvo retailer now.
When I go into the schools, I'm very proud of what I do. I help kids learn to read.
We did a walkathon for juvenile diabetes.
I help feed the homeless in a soup kitchen every Saturday.
That's Wmur Good Works.
It's giving, it's helping, it's doing, it's giving back to the community.
I love to see their faces just light up.
Just knowing that you've helped that one person.
That I come home and I have a smile on my face, that's my day.
I'm very proud to be a Wmur associate.
We live here too, and we believe good works.
What powers New Hampshire's economy? Innovation? Sure. Hard work? Of course. Reliable electric power? That too. But it's also government, industry, higher education. We bring them together to share ideas, to create opportunities, to make the economy grow. Public Service of New Hampshire, supporting your life in every moment.
And finally tonight, work is underway in Nashua on what's hoped to be the longest cake in American history.
Boy, that cake is being made to celebrate Nashua's 150th birthday, and it will take 1,500 pounds of flour and 4,600 eggs. Nobody can eat 4,600 eggs. To make it, that's all in the end. It will be 560 feet long. It's expected to set an American record. They've been working on the thing for 2 weeks. They're going to be putting the icing on for the next 2 days prior to the celebration on Wednesday night.
Well, I knew I wanted to make a birthday cake for Nashua when I found out that it was the sesquicentennial year, and I wanted to do a project that could involve the whole community. And I originally planned for a smaller cake, but as the enthusiasm grew about the cake, so did the cake. So now we're up to about 560 feet.
All right. The cake's going to be sold for about $1 a slice. The money raised is going to go to the city's 150th birthday parade. That's going to be held in July. I said it once.
Wait, before we go to the weather wrap, though, you got to do the 4,600 eggs again.
That's from George Kennedy from Cool Hand Luke. Nobody can eat 4,600 eggs.
See, that was worth it.
Hope not.
What's coming up weather-wise?
Oh my! How can I do weather after that? Can you just say that again?
You remember the movie, right, Charlie?
I was a baby, but I do remember it.
What's up?
A baby. How old was that baby? Sunshine on Tuesday. Nice looking day. A few clouds creep in Wednesday. Sun to the north, showers late day in southern areas. I think everyone sees the showers in here on Thursday. And then we've got sun back on Friday. We're going to ride the old roller coaster up and down temperature-wise until the weekend. Still, quote, up in the air, and we'll worry about that tomorrow.
Very good. And that's going to do it for this edition of News 9 tonight at 11.
Thank you very much for staying up with us. And Nightline is coming up next. Take care, everyone.
Good night.